Hey John, welcome back. And in this tutorial, you are going to start writing your first HTML code. And to do that, the first thing to do is to open a folder from your computer. So now I'm going to open a folder from my own desktop, and I can open it up by pressing new folder and type the name of the folder. Then I can say HTML learn. So I hit on enter. So I've created this folder, and then the next thing to do here is to open up this folder inside my VS Code. If you install the VS Code successfully, you can be able to see options like this where you are going to open with code. But if you did not, that means you didn't select the option from your computer from when installing the VS Code. So you are going to do this, just open up this VS Code and then navigate to file. You can just navigate to file and then open folder. You can see here. So navigate to VS Code just by clicking VS Code. You can click it on your desktop or anywhere it appears, and then it will open up automatically. So wait for it to open up fully. So you can click on open folder from here. You can click on open folder from here, or go here to open folder. You can see now from file you can open folder. So let me click on open folder. So it will open up my computer, and I'm going to select the desktop where my folder, the one that I created, exists. This is the folder I opened, and I can hit on it and select folder. So it will head over to open the folder for me, and I can make this bigger to make it look more good. I can click on this and it will become bigger. And then the next thing I would like to do here is to remove this. I don't need it. And this is my folder at the left hand side here, opened. So this is it. So this first step to do, you open a folder and then you open the folder up inside the VS Code. So the next thing to do here is to open a file. Definitely want to open a file. You come here at the right hand side. So sometimes you may have something like this that you are not able to see the sidebar. All you need to do is to go here where this Explorer is and click on it. It will open up this sidebar for you automatically. By toggling it, you can close and open it automatically. So to open a new file inside the folder, just hit on this plus icon. When you hit on it, you see it gives us some caption like new file. Just click on it and just name your folder anything you want. But as normal people do, you can name it index.html. I know you have a lot of questions there now, thinking that why do you put .html at the end and stuff. So this .html at the end, after we finish giving it our name, which is index, we name our file now index. But we added an extension. This extension is the .html we added. So it is for the code editor to understand that we are going to be writing HTML code inside this file. So I don't know whether you understand what I'm saying. If we put .html, it will tell the code editor that we are going to be writing HTML code inside the file. You see this tags, let me say, this greater than and less than sign appear at the side. So after doing that, we can close this sidebar. We don't need it again. And then inside this here, we can open up our HTML document structure. So before we get to that, so there is HTML document structures which we need to type in before anything. So the first one that comes in an HTML document structure is the doctype declaration. As I mentioned, doctype declaration, it's not an HTML tag, it's just a declaration. It's not an HTML tag, it's a information to the browser about what document type to expect. It's an information to the browser about what document type to expect. As I mentioned, it's not a tag. It is a declaration. We call it doctype declaration. So to do that, you need to open this less than sign and then type in the exclamation mark and type in doctype in capital letter now, doctype, and then space it, then type HTML. So now you are telling the browser that you are writing HTML document type from the name type, document type. So you are telling the browser that you are writing HTML document type. So after that, you close it with the greater than sign and then hit on enter to go on the second line. So on the second line, you are going to be writing the HTML tag. So HTML tag is the one that encompasses, let me say, it's one that contains all other HTML tags, all other HTML elements. So it's like a parent container to all other HTML elements. So to do that, you just definitely going to open the less than sign as usual and type in HTML and then close it with the greater than sign. So it closes it automatically because I'm using VS Code. So now after doing this, you definitely want to declare the language you are going to be using to write the HTML code. So we type in language as an attribute, which I'm going to be explaining later, and type equals to with this double quote or single quote, it doesn't matter. And inside this, you can type EN. So this EN will notify the browser that you are writing your language in English. So you close it up by typing, you're going to type the less than sign and then backslash, and then you finish it with the HTML inside it. So all right, now I know you have also a lot of bunch of questions here. That's okay, what's happening? I don't understand. So this doc type HTML own, I told you, it's not an HTML tag. It's a declaration that tells the browser which type of document you are going to be writing, which is HTML. As you can see from the front, we said document type HTML. And then the next one, which is the HTML tag. HTML tag is the container of all other HTML elements. It is the container of what? All other HTML elements. I just want you to understand this. And then inside this HTML tag, we have an attribute, which is this attribute now is a language attribute. We have a language attribute, which is telling our browser that we are going to be writing our HTML code in English language. This EN signifies it is in English language. So I believe you understand by now. And then after we finish up, we have a tag like this, which is a closing tag. So I know for now, just have it that we have some tags which have opening and closing tag, and then we have some tags which are self-closing. So among the non-self-closing tag is this HTML language HTML tag, which is not a self-closing tag, but we close it by creating another HTML tag with a backslash. You see the difference between the first one and the second one is this backslash entirely. So with that being said, we also have inside there, we have an head tag. So we can declare our heading tag here by opening a less than sign and type in head. No, not like that, HEAD. And then we can close it up with this. So, and you can see now it's automatically closed this up itself with a closing tag of head, because an heading tag also have, a head tag also has it's not a self-closing tag, so it's closed itself automatically with this backslash on. So now, and then we have another tag under it, which is a body tag. And this body tag is what that should contain entirely every code we are going to write. As I mentioned earlier from the first tutorial video, if you haven't watched it before, you can head over to it to watch again. In the first tutorial video, I told you that everything that's inside a browser, from this top where my cursor is to this place, are inside a head tag. And then from this place, this line to down here, are inside a body tag. Okay, I know by now you don't understand what I mean, but let's quickly add some things inside our head tag. So what I did now is I just take my cursor to the center of this tag, center of this head opening tag and head closing tag, and I hit on enter to give it more spaces from the beginning, from the middle, and you can see I can type anything I want from here. So now what I'm going to type first is quickly a title tag to add a title to this our web page. So I can just say less than sign, then title, and then take care of how I'll route my title, because most of you people can write title with a double T, and that's not proper. You just need to write it with a single T, and then you close it with a greater sign. So title also has its own closing tag, which is this one with this backslash. So inside this title, we can just type in hello world, and then I can hit on Ctrl S to save it. So by just typing Ctrl S to save it, now it is saved. But what do we do next? We definitely want to see all these things we have write inside a browser. And then to do that, we need to open it up inside a browser. Let's head over to here where my cursor is. Are you seeing my cursor? I take my cursor to hover on this index.html and then right click, and then I go over to copy path. I copy path by clicking on this copy path. I've copied this path successfully, and I go to let me say a browser of my choice. I told you we are going to be using any browser, but I specifically told you to use your use Chrome browser. So let me also use my own Chrome browser, and then I hit on this, and then I head over to this search bar and paste what I copied, and then we copy it by copying paths from that time, and then you hit on enter, and you definitely know that this whole place is showing blank, which is white, but here at the top here now it shows hello world. Why is it showing at the top? Why not here? Why not inside this blank white pages? But why is it showing here at the top? I've mentioned this several times, and I'll keep on mentioning it. Anything that is inside a head tag is going to appear at the top from here to here. Anything inside a head tag is going to appear from here to here. So our title exists inside a head tag, so it's appearing at this top. Our title, you can see now, this is our title tag, this is our title tag, and it is nested inside this heading tag. So it's definitely going to exist at the top of the browser. If to say we have written anything inside this body tag now, if we write anything inside this body, that's when that thing is going to appear inside here. Okay, let's quickly run our first code inside our body tag. Let me just type in H1, which is heading 1, and type in hello world also. So, and we can just go over to our browser now. Instead of copying path again, the way we do in the first page, we have copied it for the first time, and we don't need to be copying it at every time we want to view something. We just need to head over to the browser and refresh by typing Ctrl+R. And you can see here, as it appears now, we have our hello world inside here. Why? Because we type in these elements. These elements now, this H1 element now is nested inside a body tag. This H1 element is nested inside a body tag instead of this title element that's nested inside this head. That's why it's appear at the top. And then this H1 element is nested inside the body tag. That's why it appears inside these body elements. Hope you understand this, and in the next tutorial we are going to continue from where we stop. See you in the next one. Bye bye.